You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
All county offices will be closed on Monday, January the 15th, in observance of the Martin Luther King holiday. All county offices will reopen on Tuesday, January the 16th.
Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
You can now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched the prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the Purchasing Department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus through public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts or learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346th District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
You are watching the broadcast of the El Paso County Commissioners Court meetings. Commissioners Court meetings are held every Monday at 9:30 a.m. on the third floor of the El Paso County Courthouse, located at 500 East San Antonio in downtown El Paso. These meetings are open to the public. The meeting will start momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is Monday, January 8th, 2018. Commissioners Court is meeting in regular open session. Would you please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3, the consent agenda. The consent agenda is composed of items 3A through 3R. Are there any items that members of the court or the public would like to pull for individual discussion?
Commissioners, any items that you'd like pulled from the consent agenda?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 4A, resolutions. Approve and adopt a resolution recognizing the month of January 2018 as Crime Stoppers Month in El Paso County, Texas.
Thank you, Caesar. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I know we have some great people from Crime Stoppers. If you don't mind coming up to the podium, and I am really honored to be able to read this into the record. This is Crime Stoppers' 39th year, the second Crime Stoppers of the nation back in the 70s. So congratulations, and I'm sure you've got some good things to tell us, and I'll just read this and we'll go on with that. Whereas Crime Stoppers of El Paso works in partnership with the media, all law enforcement agencies, and the public as the only crime-fighting nonprofit organization that serves El Paso, Hudspeth, and Culbertson counties. Whereas Crime Stoppers of El Paso implemented the Campus Crime Stoppers safety program at all area schools. And whereas Crime Stoppers of El Paso is celebrating its 39th anniversary of successful operation in which 5,318 suspects have been arrested, 5,429 cases have been cleared, and over $48 million worth of narcotics have been removed from our city streets. And whereas law enforcement agencies give Crime Stoppers credit for being a major contributor to crime reduction in our area. And now, therefore, be it resolved by Commissioners Court that January 2018 be designated as Crime Stoppers Month. Signed this 8th day of January 2018 by the honorable members of Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Congratulations. And Donnie, let me just say a few words before, because I'm so honored to be able to read this. But also in your company is the Vice President of Crime Stoppers, our own Mayela Mejia, that is in with my office. So very proud of you, very proud of all of you. But even just last week, I saw these two articles in the paper of Crime Stoppers. One where a alleged female was arrested for burglary of habitation and other crimes, and one, Gary Jackson, was arrested for aggravated assault with deadly weapons, 2 counts. And these are people just that were taken off the streets just last week. And one of the things I always say about Crime Stoppers being there, doing that, it not only arrests subjects, it also saves the county, it saves the city a lot of money in an investigation that could have taken a year, that could have taken 10 years, but it took only 2 months or 2 weeks because of that one call that came in. And I understand that a lot of these rewards that are offered aren't claimed. So that's just a tribute to our population, that they do it just for keeping our city safer, our county safer, not for the money. So Donnie, or whoever you designate, the mic is yours.
Thank you. I'm Donnie Ray. I'm the president for 2018 of Crime Stoppers. And with me today are other board members I'd like to introduce, if I may. Starting on my right, Mayela Mejia, of course. You all are very familiar with her. But Mayela is our immediate past vice president for public relations. Alyssa Perez is a board member. I'm sure all of you are very familiar with Alyssa. Larry Guerra is the immediate past president. He served 2 terms serving the board and leading us, and a retired sheriff's deputy, a commander, a lieutenant, served many years, 31 years, and now continues to serve the community. And Vivian Harlan. Vivian is a retired educator, and she has been on the board, and she is our current secretary and has been for the last couple of years. So, again, thank you for the proclamation. Thank you for Commissioners Court for your support of Crime Stoppers of El Paso. We are a nonprofit. We are not supported by any single agency. And so we so appreciate the support that you give us and others within the community. Our board are all volunteer members. As Commissioner Leon said, we have just completed our 39th year. We're going to have our 40th birthday this year, and we're looking forward to that. Last year was a huge success for us. At the state convention in October, we received not 1, not 2, but 3 governor awards, which is kind of unheard of to get that many awards for one organization. We were awarded as the most productive Crime Stoppers in Texas for populations over 500,000. We were awarded the best social media interaction with the community, and we were awarded the best TV for Crime of the Week. 3 tremendous awards. The last 2 had to do with the entire state regardless of population. And when you consider that we're competing, if you will, we don't consider it competing, but it turns out that way, with Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio, makes us mighty proud of our community here in El Paso and the support we give. Clearly, Crime Stoppers is a partnership between the media, the community, and law enforcement. Without each of those entities, our 3-legged stool would crumble and we would fall. And we thank Commissioners Court for your support, your continued support, and we look for many more years of such a productive partnership. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Item number 4B, approve and adopt a resolution declaring Monday, January 15th, 2018 as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day in El Paso County, Texas.
Good morning, everybody, and Happy New Year. It is my honor to read this resolution into the record, and I'd like to invite Deacon Hines with the Praise Temple Full Gospel Baptist Church to come up, please. Whereas Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s contributions to our history placed him in this inimitable position. In his short life, Martin Luther King Jr. was instrumental in helping us realize and rectify those unspeakable flaws which were tarnishing the name of America. And whereas in those days, American blacks faced restrictive laws and customs, those breaking these laws were subject to arrest and the harshness of the legal system. In December 1956, the United States Supreme Court declared Alabama segregation laws unconstitutional. This led to the passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And whereas black Americans needed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but above all, America needed him. Within a span of 13 years from 1955 to his death in 1968, he was able to expound, expose, and extricate America from many wrongs. And whereas, in late 1967, Dr. King initiated a Poor People campaign designed to confront economic problems that had not been addressed by earlier civil rights reforms. The following year, while supporting striking sanitation workers in Memphis, Tennessee, on April 4, 1968, Dr. King was assassinated. Where do we go from here? Moving forward, we cannot lose our hard-earned civil rights. We must stand strong in an adverse world. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the El Paso County Judge and Commissioners Court that Monday, January 15th, 2018 shall be known as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, signed this 8th day of January 2018 by the honorable members of the El Paso County Commissioners Court.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning, Deacon Hines. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. My name is Deacon Adrian Hines. I'm the administrative assistant for the MLK committee for the city of El Paso. And on behalf of Bishop Harrison Johnson, our committee president, and the entire committee, I would like to say thank you to the Commissioners Court for reading this resolution into record as we celebrate in our 2018 MLK celebration, honoring the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who was an extraordinary activist and a man of God. We have several events that we are hosting on this weekend, starting on Saturday, January the 13th at the 7 p.m. hour at the Praise Temple Full Gospel Baptist Church, located 8528 Dyer Street, in a musical honoring him. And then, of course, we will culminate on Sunday at the 3:30 hour at Mount Zion Baptist Church, located at 3400 Wyoming, 79903. And we are inviting the entire community to come out and help us celebrate this awesome person and this man. So thank you all very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Round of applause, please. And Deacon, before you leave, I'd like to thank you and all the members of the committee and so many others in the community that are doing so much to keep Dr. King's memory and advocacy alive. It has to, especially in this time when we've got so much strife going on in our world. We appreciate that you are reminding us all that we have to be united around important issues. So thank you for all the work that you're doing.
Item number 5, public comment.
Nava, we have 3 individuals signed up to speak this morning. The first will be Ramon Bustillos. Mr. Bustillos, if you please come up. Good morning.
Good morning. It's actually Roman Bustillos.
Roman, I apologize.
The O and the A. First of all, I'd just like to welcome you to the new year. And the biggest thing that I'd like to say is I'd like you to reconsider the action that you struck down last year about the invocation and the public prayer. I think it's very important for this community, and it's an item that you all should share with us as well. With that, I'd like to give you guys a prayer to begin this year. I'd like to, first of all, remind everyone that we're always immersed in God's holy presence. And, dear Heavenly Father, we ask that you allow the Holy Spirit to come down on this court, and you allow all the business that is conducted in this court to be honorable and ethical. Especially, we ask that this work reach down to the outskirts of the community, in which all the people that are poor and marginalized can be affected. We ask that the Holy Spirit bestow this wisdom and courage to this court so that they can continue their mighty works that only God can grant us. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Our next speaker, Mr. Nava, is Mr. Alan Bristol with the Texas Association of Counties. Thank you for being here, Mr. Bristol. I know you're visiting El Paso for the next 2 days, I believe.
Day and a half. I've got to get to Sutton County before the end of the day, and it is a drive. But I do want to. I grew up in Big Spring, actually. So, and I was telling your administrator that we would drive out here. I would play varsity baseball since freshman year. So for 4 years, we'd drive out here to a preseason tournament every spring. So I love El Paso, and I'm so old though it was Diablo Stadium. Which I don't even think is even here anymore. But if you got to the championship game, you got to play there. And the last 2 years, we got to that game. So against El Paso, Ysleta, I think. So I want to thank y'all for being out here on your own, doing things your own way. There are 254 ways. You guys are a shining example of resiliency and stick-to-itiveness, for lack of a better term. And in these political times, I think y'all are a shining light for democracy. So I applaud y'all for what you do. The only other thing I will say is my boss always says that Austin's 50 square miles surrounded by reality. Well, you guys are in the reality, and a reality that a lot of people don't face because of your proximity to the border and all the issues, good and bad, that go with that. And I think y'all have very model ways of dealing with things. You got a best practices award last year for how your district clerk dealt with sovereign filings, which was unique, and other people have adopted their approach. So I would encourage you to continue to be unique as you are. There are 254 ways of doing things. If we can ever help you, please do not hesitate to call us. You are very self-sufficient and usually don't need help, but if you ever do, we're there for you. You are one of our counties. We appreciate you very much. And along with that, I gave your administrator a flash drive, and it's got a fully editable PowerPoint with a suggested script about what county government does. She can pull in pictures for El Paso County. She can change the statistics for y'all. So if you have to go to a Rotary Club or Kiwanis Club or a town hall to give a speech, it will give you something that you could all use. It's also got a couple of the videos, one on how Texas counties were formed, and also the one about the tax bill that would just let people know the county's portion of the tax bill is probably the smallest part of it. Your school district's going to be the biggest, and in this part of the world, your city's probably bigger than y'all. So I would encourage you to use that if you need to, and I just want to thank you for your service. I am a former county judge from Navarro County, and before that I was a prosecutor for 10 years. So I know what you guys have to go through. I know what you do. It's probably on a much bigger scale than I was used to, but I do appreciate you. And I just bring you greetings from Austin. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bristol. And I know you have meetings set up with several members of county government. So here in El Paso, so we appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Navarro, our next speaker is Mr. Pierre Andre Uzarraga. Mr. Uzarraga. Good morning, Mr. Uzarraga.
Good morning. Judge, commissioners, those in attendance, my fellow Americans. For the record, my name is Pierre Andre Uzarraga. I'm an ex-marijuana dealer turned Texas marijuana felon, turned founder, president, and CEO of Emerald Star Global Industries, headquartered here in El Paso, Texas, which is the world's #1 cannabis company. And again, I wish to headquarter this here in El Paso, as I have. I want to continue to do so legally and within the guidelines. I understand there's new guidelines, and we all understand that new guidelines have to be drawn up. They have to be drawn up. And once they're drawn up and we all agree on them unanimously, as we have these other marijuana policies, locally, if we could do this on a grander scale and continue to move forward as we have unanimously, and I'm speaking in a bipartisan regard, because this issue is a bipartisan regard. If we continue to reach our goals, okay, and author new policies, we're saving more money. We're saving county tax dollars. We're saving state tax dollars. We're saving federal tax dollars. Now, that's just tax dollars. I'm not even talking about what happens with the money. Here in the courts, for instance, the workload of criminal courts, civil courts, those workloads are very heavy, meaning there's a lot of traffic coming through. When we do reach our goals, I had a conversation with someone the other day who did some time as well. What are you going to do? I know the government is concerned with criminals, nonviolent criminals who are behind bars. What's going to happen to them upon legalization? And I said, well, they should just be free automatically. If they have other charges connected to them, well, those charges need to stick and continue with their journey. But you need to dismiss any marijuana ties, and that saves the workload again upstairs. That depopulizes the jails, and what that does is that saves money. Still, I know there's a local concern. Commissioner Perez had a concern with our jails, and we were able to tackle these issues. But that's a way to tackle these issues. You legalize. I find it unconstitutional when I am restricted from my daughter, and my daughter is in the presence of her mother, and the mother is married to a law enforcement officer. There's unconstitutional tension there when we should be again unanimously coming together and working together for the best interest of that child, because that's an American child. This is an American family. So that saves attorney costs. That saves an amount of stress, which might not have dollar values or a dollar amount, but yet stress could come, negative side effects of stress could come in high health costs. Now we're talking health dollars. And marijuana legalization, if everyone has access to it, like a nutritional supplement, well, then now I can self-medicate and treat myself and keep my wallet in mind, our wallets in mind, because we're talking about tax dollars aside from many, many other things. We should be able to get along and converse professionally, and I'm speaking in this sense to Commissioner Leon, who has a huge criminal justice background. He's an ex-police chief here in El Paso, and his family and my family, we grew up at private school. We went from kinder all the way to 8th grade. So prohibition of marijuana should not create these tensions, these stress, these unhealthy relationships. What they should be doing is bringing us together. How can we come up with better solutions? Let me hear what you have to say, speaking on your end. You were slapping cuffs on people versus my side of the podium where I'm consuming and I'm trying to dodge you. It's better if we regulate the industry, author these policies. That way you all could regulate the industry and make sure that the plants are being grown to a certain standard so that when you're consuming them, it's a healthy enough plant for our bodies to consume. And again, that all translates to dollars. Good day to everybody here today. Till next time, God bless. See you soon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Uzadaga. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you again.
Item number 6, County Administration. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the second exercise of option to renew agreement with Life Ambulance Services Incorporated for emergency ambulance services and extends the service agreement to January 31st, 2019. Funding is available in account GF Ambulance Services Operations Expenses General. Contract number 2017-0905.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. This item is to exercise our final option of an extension on the Life Ambulance Service contract to provide ambulance services to both the incorporated and unincorporated areas out in the county. As you know, we've discussed previously, we are in the process of working with the county attorney's office to develop a interlocal agreement to propose to the two entities that are out in the community, Socorro and Horizon, who are the largest users in their incorporated cities of the services, to work for them to cost share with us this going forward. We would ask that they include it in their next budget cycle and would begin billing for that with their October billing, or the October month of service. So we're asking that we extend the contract with Life Ambulance for one more year of service.
Move to approve. I have a question real quick, if that's okay. Yeah. Maybe you can answer this for me, Ms. Harrickson. I'm not sure. How do y'all when your ambulances are picking people up, how do you just go to the nearest hospital, or is there certain hospitals that you are contracted with that you take them there? How does that work? What's the process for that?
Good morning, Commissioners and Judge. My name is Rachel Haraxing. I'm with Life Ambulance. Currently, we go by patient's request unless there's a medical need that we have to go to the closest facility, or if they need to go to a trauma facility.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
There was already a second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 7, Auditor. Approve and authorize the County Auditor's Office to release the $50,000 Certificate of Deposit Pledge as security for a bail bond company who is no longer in business.
Yes, Judge and Commissioners, this is just a protocol. The Bail Bond Board has already released this security. County attorneys checked all the liability. Everybody's in agreement. It's just, since it was payable to the County of El Paso, we have a policy that it has to come back to the Commissioner's Court just for you to ratify the bail bond's approval to release. So at this point, we're asking for your approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Before we go on to items 8 and 9, I'd like to go ahead and take up the 2 items under economic development, if possible. Well, actually, specifically number 11, since we have a guest here on that item. So we could take up item 11, please.
Thank you, Judge. Item number 11. Discuss and take appropriate action to approve an interlocal agreement between the County of El Paso and the City of El Paso to send delegates and actively promote tourism and economic opportunities available in the El Paso region during the South by Southwest event. Funding is available in Special Revenue, Tourist Promotions, Operations Expenses General. Contract number 2017-0891.
Good morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Jose Quiñones with Economic Development. I've invited Brian Crow from the city's destination, El Paso, to give us a quick overview on this. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Crow.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Crow with Destination El Paso. Before you this morning is an item for your support with the City of El Paso to once again participate in South by Southwest this year, March 2018 in Austin, Texas. I just thought I'd give you a quick recap, but to be brief and proper with your time, I'd want to pass out to each of you. Veronica will pass out to you a USB that has a full report as well as a video overview of some of the things that we completed in 2017, as well as you can demonstrate one of the viewers that we used for one of our marketing outreach opportunities. Very quickly, in 2017, we budgeted about $110,000 for our participation in South by Southwest. Our actual expenditures were less than that at about $90,000. We have staged the trade show and engaged over 1,700 people on the trade show floor at the Austin Convention Center, made contact with over 50 companies, distributed over 80 USBs, which are shaped as the streetcar, to help kind of promote that upcoming transportation project that's coming to El Paso. We've given you a sample of that, and as I mentioned to you on the USB is our complete report with some more graphics and details about our mission, as well as a video summary of our trip. One of the highlights was a partnership with Jarritos, which is distributed out of here out of El Paso in a partnership with operations in Mexico. We were able to sample that product on the convention floor, which really helped draw and attract guests to our booth. The event in total on the expo floor, a little over 30,000 people in attendance with over 30,000 impressions. We had a fantastic display and booth, which we have photos of which on the USB that was distributed to you. In addition to participating in the trade show, we also took this opportunity as South by Southwest really draws hundreds of thousands of people to Austin from all over the region and all over the world as an opportunity to be able to share kind of what El Paso has to offer. We partnered with a local pedicab company and had 10 pedicabs that were wrapped in El Paso marketing materials. Attached to those were the viewers that I think I've seen a couple of you taking a look at there. Those viewers were in the back of the pedicab, so while you were on your trip, you could actually view different items from El Paso. We had over 3,000 miles covered with the pedicabs, 800 hours of exposure, over 1,000 passengers per week. We were very fortunate. The pedicab operators also have an El Paso tie, so in addition to operating during South by Southwest, they actually were so excited to be partnering with El Paso. They ran the El Paso pedicabs both before the event, during the event, and after the event. And in fact, I occasionally see them in Austin still. They still have some of our logos and wrap on them, so we're still getting great impressions from them to date. In addition to that marketing outreach, we also hosted a cultural event, which had a little over 950 people. We captured emails for those folks, and we did some Facebook and social media live streaming as well and engagement. Here's a quick rundown of some of our other social media engagement. I won't go through each item here, but as you can see, we did some things with the Amigo Man and the Amigo Man social media presence, which worked very well to get positive impressions about El Paso. Of course, our goal, why do we participate in South by Southwest? We want to position El Paso regionally, nationally, and internationally as a recognized destination, not only for visitation and conventions and meetings, but for film and economic development and business opportunities as well. And this is a great way to have exposure to over 70,000 folks from across the world and to tie in El Paso branding. And it was a great way for us to work with local leaders, getting both the city and the county together, as well as the Borderplex Alliance, working with UTEP and with several startup entrepreneur companies here as well. So in addition to having information about El Paso from an economic development and tourism standpoint, we also were able to host a handful of El Paso-based companies who would never been able to have the opportunity to have that level of access to the South by Southwest trade show floor. They were able to interact directly with folks that were interested in investment or partnerships with those companies, and we received a lot of great positive feedback from those companies that partnered with us as a great opportunity for them to help grow their businesses. And so just kind of a run through of what you're going to be participating in here again in 2018. We have access to the interactive badge for the county delegation. We'll once again be active with the trade show, which is a 4-day exhibition. We're looking at a 20 by 30 booth space in the international section of the exhibit hall, which is the same area where we were last year. We will once again partner with the Movement Bike Pedicab. We're looking to increase the fleet from about 10 to about 15 to include all of our Visit El Paso branding. You saw the Viewmasters. We'll probably be using those again and add some additional information about the new attractions and items here in El Paso. And we'll also work to try to do promotional item distribution with folks that are on board the pedicabs. We will also again do the corporate cultural event. We're working to engage state associations and other partners and others that we have interest in terms of attracting them to El Paso to be able to invite them out to participate in this El Paso showcase where we have both El Paso-based food, beverage, and usually performing artists as well to kind of give that full feel of El Paso. And here's our rundown for our budget for 2018. We're estimating the budget at about $118,500, although we're hopeful that we'll be able to come in under that as we did again last year. The agreement in front of you seeks a 50-50 partnership with the City of El Paso. However, your participation is limited to a cap of $50,000. So we'll also be looking at other partners as well to fund their other portion. We do have some verbal commitments from other communities that want to participate in the program as well. So we don't anticipate any issue hitting our budget, but your participation is limited to $50,000.
Increased participation from Ciudad Juarez or Las Cruces this year?
So those are what I'm mentioning. We are talking with both Ciudad Juarez as well as the state of Chihuahua and City of Las Cruces, both of which have indicated an interest. That's kind of where that other $20,000 is coming from. Our partnership with the state of Chihuahua and Ciudad Juarez, we likely may need to do kind of a different format of engaging them versus direct dollar for dollar, but we have a number of different partnerships with them where we can kind of trade those off with some other partnerships that we have and other co-marketing and branding things that we do in the interior of Mexico with them to help them participate here. They actually sometimes partner with us on those, so we'll figure out a way to get them engaged. And I believe Las Cruces has generally committed, but we're waiting for the official commitment from them.
Thank you.
I have a question. I was a big fan of this last year. I thought it was a great idea. My only question is, what metrics are we using to track if this $100,000 to $120,000 investment is reaping any rewards? And did we see any increase in visitation last year from last year's?
So, I mean, it's sort of a long-term investment. I mean, you're talking about trying to get impressions out in front of a very diverse audience of folks. And so I think some of the things that we use to sort of to track the success or the value, if you will, of the engagement is through like we track how many different leads we have, for whether those be for economic development based leads or they are meeting, sport, film, or other general tourism leads. I think it's almost a disservice for us to not have participation. You look at some of the other cities, states, and countries that are all also participating in this event from all over the world, and probably have to work a lot harder to be able to get that level of presence that we have there. For us, it's just down the road. I think we have so much to offer in terms of new development, both from an economic development standpoint as well as our continuing growth, downtown development, and general tourism city and county-wide, that it's important for us to have this outreach to be able to place ourselves, I think, amongst a class of cities and countries and communities and destinations that I think we belong in. But it is important to us to be able to track the return on investment. It is not an inexpensive participation event for us, and we're certainly glad that we're able to share that cost between the city and county and other partners. So we look at the lead generation, both from an economic development standpoint as well as from a meeting and general tourism standpoint. I can't point to a specific project item or contract or traveler visitation that confirms directly based upon it, but we do get some great media attention and other things that are of a considerable value that greatly exceed the investment that we're making. So I do think it's worth our continued participation.
I don't disagree. I would love to see a way to somehow track some success. I mean, someone saying, I saw you guys at South by Southwest and you came by for it. I mean, I understand the need for marketing per se, but there's also got to be is the juice worth the squeeze situation sooner or later as well?
In the full report that's on the USB that we distributed to you, there's more breakdown in terms of the different leads and engagements, as well as we showed you some of the metrics from social media and other types of value and engagement from participating in the event. It's valued at considerably more than what our direct investment was. I don't disagree with you. We are looking at always trying to figure out how can we best articulate the return on investment for the different things that we do. One of the nice things about digital engagement is you can see a lot more, as opposed to traditional media like putting up a billboard. It's very difficult to see, exactly what your return on investment is, where with digital media and other types of marketing that we can do and some of the things that we do here with South by Southwest, we're able to actually sort of track that level of engagement. So we'll continue to work on how we can best articulate that to you following the event in 2018.
I appreciate it.
Commissioners, any other questions? I agree with you, Commissioner Hagerty. It'd be ideal going into this next budget season just to have kind of a breakdown of And I've got to look at the full report that's on here, but if there isn't information on here that could be useful for future courts to make the decision to fund this, that would be helpful. So thank you.
And then also making that report available as soon as, instead of the next funding request would be ideal.
Yeah, the report was distributed in about April of last year, both to the city and to the county. I don't know how it comes up for y'all, but we can certainly work to make sure that your offices get it when it comes out.
Okay.
As long as I think our economic development department has it and each office has a copy, that would be helpful.
Yeah, we can work with Jose to make sure that each of you see it as well.
Thank you. I would move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And before you leave, Mr. Crow, what are the next steps for the county? I know you'll be working with our department.
Writing a check.
Aside from writing the check.
That happens actually after the fact. It's a reimbursement. We will work with the city and with the county's Office of Economic Development to finalize all of the arrangements for the engagement, and then when the event is complete, we bring in all the total costs and expenses, and then we invoice the city will invoice the county for reimbursement. In addition to engaging the county's Economic Development Department, we mentioned that we're working with Ciudad Juarez as well as the state of Chihuahua and with the city of Las Cruces, but we're also involved with the local Hotel Motel Association and community, as the city of El Paso asked that they be engaged in the project as well. So we're trying to work through that sort of coalition, if you will, to develop what our outreach is. The county, along with the Borderplex Alliances, are working on attracting a number of the companies that will join us on the trade show floor, which is really an incredible opportunity for them, because it's very, very expensive to be on the South by Southwest floor. We're able to, the city and the county are able to make that happen for local El Paso-based communities. So I think that vetting is in progress right now. I know the county's Economic Development Partners already put out a call for participation. And I'm not sure if you've got your list put together yet or not. Yeah. So on the 18th, they're interviewing companies that are interested in participating.
Okay. Excellent.
Did that answer your question?
Thank you. It does. Thank you for being here. Mr. Nava, if we could go back to items 8 and 9, please.
Sure. Item number 8, litigation, justice, and law enforcement, postponed on December 18th, 2017. Approve and authorize the county judge to sign the asset disposition services agreement with PropertyRoom.com Incorporated to provide asset disposition services for the El Paso County Sheriff's Office. Contract number 2017-0900.
Hi, Christina Sanchez, Assistant County Attorney. My understanding is they are still working on this agreement, and they're requesting that this item be postponed until your January 22nd meeting.
Move to postpone. Second.
Commissioner Pettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 9, approve and authorize the county judge to sign the Astro P25 Managed Service Agreement with Motorola Solutions Incorporated. Funding is available in GF Sheriff's Office Law Maintenance Repair Communications. Contract number 2017-0843.
Morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Armando Alvarez with the Sheriff's Office Radio Management Section. Here today to ask the court to approve the funding or pay the funding that's already been pre-allocated for the service agreement between the county and the Motorola Solutions on the P25 system. A little bit of information. This agreement did expire on December 15th of 2017, so we're actually asking the court to move forward with this as the deadline has already come and passed. So if you have any questions, I'd be willing to take those at this time.
Move to approve.
Second. Commissioner Bettis has a few questions.
The number of users, I guess, is based on 2013. Is that changed since this agreement was first enacted?
The number of users has changed. The 814, that percentage that's pre-allocated is still the same. There's another interlocal that's out there that is also paying for the smaller agencies within the county, which includes the smaller jurisdictions such as Anthony, Clint, Horizon, the ESDs. So there's 2 service agreements there, but our numbers are still the same.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, Judge.
Good afternoon.
We also have some information on the slides just to show you all the coverage of the P25 since the improvements have been made. I don't know if you wanted to go through this, Chris?
Since you voted, the pressure's off, right? Chris Stathis, your Chief Technology Officer. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Back in October of last year, Commissioner Perez requested a very brief update of the P25 system and kind of where we are with it, what improvements we've been able to see. During the implementation of P25, the Information Technology Department took the project management lead. We didn't have the internal resources to actually manage and implement it on ourselves. I think we hired a consultant to help us do that back in 2012, 2011. But our project manager was instrumental in bringing this to fruition in 2014. So I have about 5 slides. I'll go really quickly, and I promise not to get very technical on it. Really what I wanted to let you know is the reasons that we brought forward the P25 project to the county had to do with moving towards a narrow band radio communication mandate that was set forth by the federal government. So the federal government basically said you have to go to this narrow band process. You can't use the UHF or VHF systems that were previously used. This, in 2013, we moved to a kind of an interim narrow band system that actually reduced the footprint, the coverage that our radios were able to manage. The chart in front of you shows the kind of progression that had occurred. So we went from our legacy system, which is the first column. The next column over was our interim narrow band, and then the final column is our P25, kind of where we ended up. The 2 rows you'll see in that. The mobile coverage is the in-vehicle radio coverage. So currently 99% of El Paso is covered when you're in a vehicle. 92% is covered when you're using a portable device. The portable devices are the on-body or the handheld devices. So we looked at coverage being the primary reason why this was implemented. Secondarily, the technology that we were using was unreliable and I believe end of life. So we did need to find another solution because of that mandate. And then finally, we didn't have any interoperability with other agencies. Our radios were our radios, and they didn't play very well with other agencies. So we were looking to improve that. The coverage in 2013, December of 2013, looked like this. The yellow coverage is the handheld or portable coverage that our employees basically had. The green is what they had in their vehicles, and the green and yellow were combined. So for the mobile coverage, with P25, with the implementation of P25, we saw our mobile coverage go up to 99%. So you can see there's very few spots in El Paso County that aren't covered if you're in a vehicle. This was part of the process. This was part of the package that Motorola brought to us. They did these surveys, went around and kind of did that old Verizon, can you hear me now, process to find out areas that weren't available. The other thing that added to this coverage was the addition of towers or sites that let us talk to those radios. So I think we went from 3 to 7, if my memory is correct, and that gave us a much bigger spread. The portable coverage, the handheld coverage was similar. We didn't quite get to 99%. We're at 92%. But given the lack of power and the fact that they run on batteries and the antennas aren't as big, we think that's excellent. Both these bands are encrypted, so even though they reach into other areas, including across the border, they are encrypted, and only those people that are subscribers are able to get on our radio network. And then finally, I just wanted to go over the investment really quick. It looks like it was about a $10 million investment that we made, and this was primarily with Motorola leading the way. We also interface with the city of El Paso, who through their 911 emergency center manages the core system. And so while there was an initial investment there, we also have some recurring investments that we do with them for upkeep and maintenance of that, along with this maintenance that you just approved. And then to satisfy the last piece of our requirements was to create kind of interoperability. And so we went ahead and put up on the board or up on the screen, those are all the agencies that are subscribers or utilize the P25 systems that's currently in availability. The items that are bolded are the county departments, and everything else are those that are just kind of ancillary agencies. I know just from an anecdotal standpoint, when the Pope visited, that was a really big deal in terms of interoperability. We were able to talk to the federal government, the state government, our regional area, and kind of all the different players who helped manage that site. So from a project management perspective, the item appears to be very good. We're very happy that we're continuing maintenance, and I'm very happy the sheriff's been a great partner in helping transition this over to his group.
Chris, it's great to see where we were some years back to where we're at now, because I know there was deputies having to carry their own cell phones to be able to receive calls. The only thing I don't see on your list are school districts, because I know there's at least 2 large school districts that have their own police departments. Are they on the P system also, P25 system?
Good question, Commissioner. There's a couple of schools, as you can see, community college is up there. Texas Tech is also up there. We're working with Canutillo ISD at this time, trying to figure out how to make the system be operable and interoperable with them. And the other school districts are also, EPISD is also trying to work with us to see how we can actually either patch or set a permanent consulate, which is a radio at their site or our site with their frequencies and their users to be able to communicate with them in the event of a large-scale incident.
Yes, I would think that both EPISD and I think Socorro has their own police department also, that
Correct.
they'd be critical to have included with the ability to communicate with them.
We do have the Rio system, which is in 2 selected vehicles that are grant funded, that are also designated as patching points for larger scale incidents. So if we were to have something in the area that's large enough to require that kind of communication-based interoperability, we can actually do it on the fly at any location.
It's good to hear. Thank you.
I did have a quick question. In terms of the backup talks about the timing in terms of the maintenance contract between the city and the county and how that might be off a little bit. I'm not sure if I misunderstood that. Could you explain that a little bit? And
Yeah, as far as the dates?
yes, like the 3rd year versus the 4th year and how the city might be advanced into that time frame.
Holly Lytle with the County Attorney's Office. If some of you might remember that the city actually came online with their P25 system before we did. So and the initial setup of the P25 for both the city and the county involved a 3-year warranty period. So the city's warranty period did run out before ours. So there is about a year difference, or maybe about 9 months difference between when the city's warranty expired versus when our warranty expires. But keep in mind that's on different sets of equipment. So, the cities and I mean, it's a little beyond, so I'm just going to keep it short because we'll end up having to bring back an item for that because the city, of course, expects us to pay for part of the maintenance on their system because we share their system with it. But what we need to do and what we're in the process of doing is trying to analyze and make sure that the breakdown that Commissioner Pettis talked about is still the same as far as the pieces of equipment that are covered by the city system versus the pieces of equipment that are covered by this maintenance agreement that we're bringing here today. And so the city has submitted a bill to us, I believe. But we are questioning some of what they've put on that bill, and we're still analyzing that. And then when we finish analyzing that, we're going to bring that back to you as far as what we think is appropriate for us to pay on the city side.
Thank you. Any other questions, commissioners? Okay. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Item 10, receive a presentation on the Business Retention and Expansion Plan from the Economic Development Department.
Good morning, Jose Quiñones with Economic Development. The business retention expansion plan, what we're bringing to you today is a spin-off of what was started through the Market Street consultants back in 2015. One of the goals of the economic agenda was to develop a business retention expansion plan, and we try and address this. And so right now what we're asking for the court is for feedback, comments on this business retention plan. Real quickly, I'll give you a quick overview on this. Very important that we start identifying the lines of communication between employers and the County of El Paso. This is the first effort ever to develop a BRE plan. And in such, we're starting from zero. And so we got a lot of work ahead of us. Part of that, of our strategy will involve is to promote with this BRE plan the new incentives policy focusing on the investment zones that we set up. Also, we want to make sure that we key into the key industries that we have here in El Paso and take advantage of the PACE program as a sustainable program for helping existing industry understand the opportunities that are available to them in growing in our community. The BRE strategy takes into consideration the Borderplex Alliance Regional Strategic Plan. As such, we mimic that as an effort to make sure that we fall in line with the values, with the priorities of our community, not just within the city of El Paso, but actually the entire county. And we're going to do that by looking at how we can promote better, do much of outreach in all these investment zones that we created. One of the things that we will be doing as part of this BRE outreach is visiting with businesses. And so with that, we can touch base with some of our existing businesses that we have 381 agreements or that that come to our office, that approach us, or through some community meeting or community event, learn about, they want to know more about what possibilities, what opportunities are there for doing business with the county and trying to grow here in our community. With that, we do need to purchase some software, and that's the thing that's going to be coming to y'all in the coming weeks is we do need a tracking software. We've been looking at various softwares that we want to consider, and there's one that's very particular to us that we think we can accomplish this to create a profile of businesses, look at the performance measures of businesses, look at analytical reports, flag companies that present problems or that we see are struggling here or that have informed us that they're struggling for some reason. Could be that the dynamics of the industry have changed. It could be that they're just going through a very difficult time in our economy, but we need to know that, and we'd like to see what those issues are. It's important for us to also make sure that we maintain some of our information that we have on base, and we reach out via all our social media, our constant contact distribution software, so that businesses know what we're trying to accomplish with this. Relationship building is going to be a very important part of it. We brought on just recently Diana Costa, who's our business retention coordinator, and a lot of her time is going to be working with existing businesses, working with businesses that also approach us about incentives and going through the whole process of incentivizing industry. There will be a lot of opportunities for us to do outreach. We will be reaching out to each of you when there's a community meetings that you want us to present, so that if you know businesses that want to learn more about how we're going to work with them, they can establish a better working relationship with the Office of Economic Development. Referrals is another part. Obviously, our partners are a big part of that. And with that, we cannot be successful as a department alone in doing business retention. It really is a team effort where we're going to interactively work with many of our business partners, the City of El Paso, and the Small Business Development Center, SBA, Horizon City. A lot of the smaller communities will have to play an active role. The Chambers of Commerce will be reaching out to them to see how we can learn from their mistakes and their opportunities. More importantly, what we see ourselves is this is just a starting point for a partnership where we're going to be working much closer to help existing businesses grow in our community. One important statistic is up to 80% of new job growth is created by existing businesses. And I think that the consultants, when they identify business retention as a strategy for economic development, were right on target. Most of the growth in our community is based on existing industry, not new industry coming into our community. So this approach is very important because it's part of sustaining your community. It's part of growing your community from what you have in already here. And we will continue to work on communication, promoting everything that we have in place in terms of our department. But I think it's important for you all to go is that this is just a starting point. And so this BRE plan is a living document. It's very important for you all to give us your feedback. We don't see it as this is the finished product, but I think it's a start from something that didn't exist before. Questions?
Thank you. The one question I had, and you partly answered in the presentation, was you talked about talking to businesses that have asked for a 381 from the county, reaching out to the chambers of commerce, and then potentially technology that would help identify some businesses that could benefit from our outreach. I guess that's my only concern is I want to make sure that we are reaching out to, you've got like Prudential, for example, that was a very successful collaborative where they expanded here in El Paso. They chose to stay here. But how do we seek out those businesses that aren't aware of 381 agreements that want to expand? How do we find them? And it sounds like you're doing some digging in the community and talking to the chambers. And with that technology you mentioned, help do that in terms of looking at their expansion possibility or?
The technology will be useful in creating profiles and also for us to start benchmarking businesses that we collect business information on. So it's important for us to know what's been done in the past to assist a company, whether it's 5 years down the road or even further than that, but also to be able to see what industries are doing well, performing well here locally in our economy. So we can have a tool there that we can use to see how each industry is doing here in El Paso versus the ones that are in our database. We don't have a database. This would be the software would be part of that database to collect that information.
I appreciate the presentation. This is a great start. I look forward to getting a presentation later on in the year to see how we've advanced our outreach and retention efforts. So.
Thank you. And if the court would like, I mean, please, I'd like to ask you all maybe in the next 30 days or so, if you all could give us some feedback on what was presented to you, the plan as well. It is a living document, so it's not set in stone. We want you to make sure that we get your feedback, but more importantly, that we keep reaching out to you. You will see Adriana reaching out to your office as part of an effort to inform residents in your communities how important it is that they learn about the department, learn about we're trying to help existing businesses grow in our community. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Update from the Veterans Assistance Program.
Good morning.
Your Honor, Commissioners, good morning. With Efren Montalongo, my great partner, I'm Roland Hessler with Veterans Assistance, here to provide a quarterly update. A lot of this is in accordance with the Senate Bill 1676 that was passed this past year that directs us to fall under the Commissioner's Court. So to meet that requirement, we are going to quarterly provide an update and give you an idea of what we've been doing and where we're going and any questions that you might have or input, we'll be able to address that as well. In this past quarter, we've helped 19 individuals with claims. We set an annual goal of 100. But we don't really have metrics, and it's hard for us to measure what is it that we should use as a standard, because there are other organizations such as the Texas Veterans Commission and Disabled American Veterans who provide the same services. So what we have done is, instead of being reactive and waiting for people to come to us, we want to be proactive, go out into the community and expand our reach and our presence as much as possible. So to do that, we've established goals for community outreach programs, developing and continuing to strengthen partnerships that we already have built, and so on. So let me just run down those. We've attended multiple outreach programs highlighted by the Women's Veterans Symposium and the Veterans Treatment Court Legal Clinic. Those are opportunities where the county sets up, we set up our table, we hand out flyers, we discuss with individuals what we do and how we can help and support. And this also gives us an opportunity to meet with other organizations and other individuals who have an interest in the veteran community, as well as build partnerships. This last quarter we established 2 new partnerships. And coming off of last year, we've really been strengthened by Family Endeavors. It's a new program that's been running since July, but working through them has expanded the knowledge of El Paso County, and that we do have a Veterans Assistance Program and that we provide several different services. So we're looking for those type of organizations and those type of individuals who can continue to promote our program and what we do. Also, quarterly, we've updated the Veterans Resource Directory that was published this past year, and that's again been another terrific tool for us to reach out and for also people to communicate to us that they want to have their organization or their services listed in that document. As we continue to go forward, the big opportunity that we're going to have, and it's not going to be in this next quarter, but the following quarter, is going to be the Texas Veterans Commission Community Services Grant that we've applied for in the amount of $200,000. So far, the feedback that we've received is that our application is going to be approved. We look forward to that. Not only will this be a tremendous asset to veterans that are struggling financially in the El Paso community, but it will also offset the funds for community services in our department. They won't have to utilize those monies for veterans. Rather, it'll just be for other El Paso County residents. So I think that's going to be a huge factor, and word has already been put out, and this is just another opportunity for us to stand out as ambassadors for El Paso County, and a great chance to continue to, for us personally, to provide assistance. One thing I'd like to bring up is that through this mandate that we've been given to provide assistance to veterans and gaining benefits, is that we're required to have one Veterans Services Officer. El Paso County has really graciously given 2 slots. Obviously, these are not funded by the state, so El Paso County pays for both of our salaries to be able to do this. So we're able to honestly divide and conquer. We're able to, while one person has an appointment with a veteran or dependent or whatever it might be, the other one of us has an opportunity to continue to be out in the community. And this is a great resource that El Paso County has provided to the veterans. and for us to be able to go out and to expand and to accomplish a lot more than we would if it were just one person who would pretty much be stuck behind a desk. This we just for the next slide. Do I?
Your clicker up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That clicker. A couple of, I don't want to call them issues, we'll call them opportunities for this past quarter that we've identified, and I think will help us as we move forward. We requested an office in the east side of El Paso through our research and looking back on where individuals are in the El Paso County area. We noticed that there's a large population in East El Paso. So we've requested office space in the East El Paso area. It's been approved, but the process has been slow because there are other departments, other organizations within the county who are attempting also to acquire space, but there's been delays and just natural, I guess, issues that pop up. So we're looking forward to being able to establish an office there, post hours, and we believe doing that will also increase our reach in the community and also give us an opportunity to have those veterans who are limited in their ability to travel all the way to the northeast side. We'll be able to address those issues on the east side. Although we do have the capacity to have temporary offices. So we establish appointments, or we can also go to their homes if needed. But that would certainly be a positive. We've had a couple issues with our Veterans Advisory Board. Due to absences and a little bit of a shortfall, we did have to cancel one monthly board due to not meeting quorum requirements, and the second one, the president wasn't able to come. So really for 2 of the 3 months, we didn't really accomplish anything of any significance. So there's a couple areas that we're going to continue to work on and that we'll push up to see if we can have any assistance if that's needed. Finally, again, moving forward, I already addressed it with the TVC General Assistance Grant. I said Community Services, the General Assistance Grant. We look forward to that. Assuming that we are approved, that will begin July 1st. So we're about another 6 months away from beginning that. Efren has completed all the requirements to have accreditation with filing claims and benefits for veterans. We're only waiting on a security clearance for him. And the advantage of having that is we'll then be able to track the statuses of veterans and where their claims are. Right now, we're blind to it. We're forced to either call the local Texas Veterans Commission or to the offices in Waco or wherever they might be for that particular request. And we're going to complete within the next month our standard operating procedures, and that'll just be able to not only for us but in the future set a path for it so that everybody will know exactly what we've done, how we do it, and best practices, and that'll just be a living document that will continue to grow and develop. Pending any questions, that concludes my update.
Mr. Hassler, a few things on your presentation caught my ear. One of them being that you stated that in the last 2-3 months there's been nothing accomplished, and your goal you set it at assisting 100 veterans, and the number that came in is 19. That's concerning to me.
Your Honor, our Commissioner, it's 100 for the year. So it doesn't show the breakdown here, but 25 for the quarter. We based this off of the past 2 years. How many people did we serve? And then we try to increase it somewhat. 19 actually is about where it was. And again, the difficult part of reporting these numbers is that I don't know what information can really be gleaned from them, because Texas Veterans Commission is always going to have the bulk of benefits claims, just by nature of their location with the Veterans Administration, and also a countrywide organization, Disabled American Veterans. They're always going to receive more. A lot of the people that we get are the ones that slip through the cracks, and we're not attempting to become the primary resource for this. It won't happen. And I understand what you're saying with numbers. Really established that number to see if our outreach and if our relationships, if those organizations or those people, are they reaching out to veterans or dependents who haven't even thought about applying for benefits with the TVC or with Disabled American Veterans. So we did look at the shortfall of numbers, and we want to ensure that we are pressing forward, maximizing every opportunity that we have to increase our visibility in the county. So I don't know if that helps or if that answers your question, but it's a difficult metric, and as I looked at it and as I've pondered it honestly, I don't know how to make that, whether is this a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know how to fluff it up or whatever it might be to come across differently.
No, thank you very much for your answer. But are you all making VFW meetings? Are you going to their functions that various organizations, veterans organizations, have around town? And also the office space that you're looking for. How big a space do you need?
Very small. We're looking for simply an office where we can have a desk, a computer, just for veterans or dependents who come in.
On the east side of town, right?
Correct.
Okay, we may have to, we might be able to talk later of a possible location, but
okay.
I am concerned that maybe the outreach portion of our activities aren't reaching out far enough. And with the numbers you gave us right now, it is hopefully they'll come up as we go into the future. Maybe you consider having some volunteers, veteran volunteers that call my office all the time wanting to volunteer, and also the inability to hold meetings because of quorum issues are kind of bothersome to me.
Commissioner, I agree totally with the Veterans Advisory Board, and that's frustrating. And we've talked with the members and with the president, and we are hoping as we go forward that it will be able to meet really what the intent of the Veterans Advisory Board was. Because since an action last June, there really hasn't been any progress or recommendations that have been able to go forward. So I agree completely with that. I do hear you on your concerns about the numbers, and we will continue to focus on attending, participating in being involved with all outreach programs, with other organizations. I honestly, from what I've seen and the feedback that we've had from different veterans organizations is that we are reaching out and that we are a known asset within the community. If we're going to be judged solely on numbers of what is our mandate, I can see where that comes from, but we will look forward and we'll attempt to continue strengthening our program to address that.
I'm sorry. And as you move forward, please feel free to call my office that we may be able to help in some of the areas that you're working on.
Okay, I appreciate it.
And I just wanted to say that also, I mean, when it comes to the advisory board and some of the inaction there, I think it's also incumbent upon us if we have appointed members on the board that are inactive, or we haven't appointed members to that board, then we need to do that so that they can make sure that they have quorum and continue the work that they're doing. I mean, I think that's really our responsibility.
Just going back to the numbers issue. The goal is 100 people a year. How much time is spent per veteran? Does it depend on the case? I mean, what is the average number of time? I mean, if we got 2 people helping 100 people a year and it takes 20 minutes, there's not time well spent. But if it takes weeks upon weeks to get stuff done, I mean, the numbers don't help us know what's going on, I think is the issue. And what is the time frame on average per case, I guess is the best way to put it that way.
Yeah, Commissioner, I'll let Efren explain more as he's the individual who does the claims and benefits. But I probably misrepresented our numbers. Our goal is to officially submit claims for 100 in a year. Our goal also is to assist 400 clients, 400 veterans in a variety of areas. So below the where it shows the 19, 7, 6, and 6 for the 3 months, it shows the individuals that we have assisted in different things. And that can be everything from education benefits or should I apply for this? And those can take 2 minutes with the phone call, or they can take 2 hours with them sitting down and you going through mapping out, this is how you can use your post 9/11 GI Bill, vocational rehab, and other different education benefits that we have in Texas. So I didn't represent like overall number of people that we're assisting that come in or who call in, and it doesn't address also the different people that we assist throughout the community when we're at doing outreach programs, when we're at Veterans Treatment Court weekly, things of that nature. Well, I'll hand it over here to Efren just to answer your question with the actual time and requirements for filing benefits.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Usually the actual time that it takes to file an actual claim from start that they've never filed before, it takes about 1.5 hours to 2 hours. This is per client. So we try to schedule at least 3 a day if it's going to be that way, or if it's only like filing like a notice of disagreement, or they just need an advocate for their claim. It takes about 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes. So depending on the type of claim that we're doing, but the initial ones, those are the ones that take at least 2 hours just to verify all the documents that they have, review their medical evidence, and submit the claim properly.
But that's just the claim. Your goal, aside from the claims, the 100 that your goal is, the 400 total clients assisted, is that the actual number or that's your goal?
That's our goal, Your Honor.
So how many did you actually, is 36 for October,
80.
26, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, we're a little bit, December was pretty, actually from, things slowed down basically through the holidays, we noticed, before Thanksgiving through the new year. We've had an uptick this past week. Efren was pretty much in the office full time, one client after another. I know, I mentioned it's hard for me. I haven't been able to see a metric. I haven't been able to see, okay, how is it that we can use these numbers to show that we're adequately fulfilling our mandate. We're certainly open if anyone else has any ideas or opinions, because we've been basing it mostly off of expanding our relationships with different organizations, different veterans with, that hold significant positions throughout the community, things of that nature.
Clarifying the number was very helpful, and I think you're right that things may have slowed down during this quarter, but we look forward to that next quarterly report to see if those numbers have increased and how much closer we're getting to that 400 mark.
Judge, if I may, so the county is mandated to provide some veteran services, but I do want to mention, and I think this is what Roland was saying, it's not necessarily a bad thing if our numbers aren't off the charts as far as claims. That means that our community has a other resources that are meeting the majority of the demand. We always want to be looking for anyone who slipped through the cracks, and that's, I think, a great tool that we have to help our community, and always looking for other ways to help veterans. But it's the thing that they've done that's above and beyond the mandate is helping veterans in other ways. And these can be anything from someone, I know that they have arranged, we got some donations of some furniture, some beds. And so if a veteran is in need of furnishings for housing, things like that, and those are beyond the mandate. And so that's really a lot of what they've taken on, because there is not as much demand for claims, because other community providers are meeting those demands. So I just wanted to be clear that when they set a goal of 25 per quarter, that's 25 individuals who aren't getting services somewhere else. So I see them being more proactive than I think we've ever been. Getting involved in different veterans organizations, being there for different veterans events. I've only attended a couple veterans events in the last year, but at both events they've been there and been part of that, and our office is known. So just wanted to share that with the court.
And again, for the public's sake, that 25 goal is just for the claims. That's aside from the number of veterans that you're helping around other issues. So that number is much higher.
Yes, Your Honor. And I will say that when the grant goes through, that we have anticipated will significantly increase.
This is the first presentation to the Commissioners Court, I believe. So thank you for this update. I'm sure we'll refine it over time, and we appreciate the work that you're doing for the community and for our veterans. And I think that getting feedback from the court will be helpful in making sure that you're successful. And that's what we want, is for you to be successful in the work.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Commissioners, questions?
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item number 13, Human Resources. Approve and authorize the updates to the County of El Paso's Workers' Compensation Policy and Procedure.
Morning.
Judge, Commissioners, Happy New Year. Lupe Jauregui with the Human Resources Department. We'd like to give you an update on the Workmen's Compensation Policy and Procedure. There has been updates and to reflect the following items. Clarification of the language of the maximum medical improvement section has been updated. The removal of the language that states that employees' employment may be terminated if not able to return after they've reached maximum medical improvement. Maximum medical improvement, and their FMLA has expired. And also the last one, we incorporated the language to ensure that the compliance of the Family and Medical Leave Act and Americans with Disabilities Act is embedded in the policy.
Commissioners, I think that was all outlined in the backup. Is there any questions to the changes? It sounds like there weren't any major changes to the policy,
Yes.
so thank you. Okay. I would move to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Commissioner Pettis.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 14, approve and authorize the update to the County of El Paso's Healthy Lifestyle Reimbursement Program policy. Funding is available in IS Health Dental Claims.
Morning.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Melissa Carrillo with Human Resources. As you know, wellness is one of our biggest initiatives within your HR department, and this morning we have a policy that we need updates to. But before I go there, I do want to just give an overarching introduction to Mr. Gers. As you know, when we focus on our wellness efforts within an organization, we can look at targeting healthcare costs by focusing some efforts to help reduce any of those costs that may come as a result of not paying attention to wellness. And whether our employees are focusing on wellness themselves, whether it be physical, emotionally, and even mentally, they in turn become more productive and content employees. Andrew is getting ready to complete his year of employment with the County of El Paso, and he's been our wellness coordinator. In February, he'll complete that year. But I do want to note that we're really grateful that we found him. Searching for someone to focus on wellness efforts is difficult. We need to find someone who can research, who can coordinate, but who can also ensure that our metrics are achieved and we're also making an impact. And so I want to introduce Mr. Gers. We're really proud of what he's done. His philosophy really stems from working with other employees so that ideas emerge from the individual departments, thus transforming the overall organization. He realizes he can't do it alone. It's more than that, and so we're grateful to have him, but Mr. Gers will give you some policy updates for you.
Morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Andrew Gers. I work with the Human Resources Department. I'm here to present an update regarding our healthy lifestyle reimbursement policy. Basically, this policy was adopted back in 2015, and this policy provides up to $90 every 6 months for fitness center reimbursement for qualified employees. And over the course of the past year, there have been a number of issues that have arisen in which there's been confusion with regards to what criterion needs to be met in order to receive this reimbursement. And I'm going to present to you some updated language which hopefully will clarify, if not eliminate, the confusion with regards to the policy here. Under Section 2, eligibility, we're looking to add a statement that says attendance records must state the date and time for each day the employee attended per month. The healthy lifestyle reimbursement applications that do not contain an attendance record which provides the date and time will not be eligible to receive reimbursement. Section 4, we're looking to add a section with regards to annual memberships. The wording that we're looking to add states individuals who have purchased annual memberships will receive the prorated monthly amount for each of the months for the period in which they are applying for reimbursement. The prorated monthly amount is determined by taking the total amount of the employee's annual membership cost and dividing it by the total number of months as specified in the contract. And finally, under Section 5, considerations, eligible employees can only be reimbursed for out-of-pocket membership fees incurred during the months in which they are applying for reimbursement. And finally, dependents of employees are not eligible to receive reimbursement under the Healthy Lifestyle Reimbursement Program, even if the dependent is an employee. So in conclusion, we're looking for the Commissioner's Court to approve this update to our policy.
I have a question. The whole point is for people to be healthy so they don't have higher insurance costs.
Yes, sir.
But wouldn't we want healthy dependents also?
This is something we're looking to include in the future. This is definitely something under consideration. However, at the current time, dependents are not eligible to receive the reimbursement. But again, we are looking to include dependents in the near future.
Commissioner Haggerty, you're absolutely right. When we focus on wellness, our idea is to transform the entire community of El Paso. We're starting in baby steps. We're also keeping in mind the funding that's available. So we're starting it with our employees, but eventually, as Andy has says, we're transforming it to our dependents, their children, their family, so that the community transforms as well. Yes, sir.
Just so that employees listening know, this is if you attend the gym 8 times during a month, you're eligible to get a reimbursement if you do that consistently for that 6-month window to get $90 back, which is almost payment of your gym membership at some places.
Exactly.
Is that the gym membership does it have to be done through the county where the county takes it out, or anything?
It could be any fitness center, not just the 3 that we're contracted with through the county.
In the past, it used to be only those, but as this continues to expand, we're ensuring that we don't want to discriminate against whatever healthy lifestyle our employees are choosing to focus on. So it's changed.
In terms of the 70 that were eligible or submitted for reimbursement, I'm assuming we have a much higher rate of employees that actually utilize the gym. Is it just a matter of getting it out to folks, or people aren't going 8 times a month? What do you think? Where do you think the snag might be in getting more folks?
I think it's something that's. Does that count? I think it's something that we're going to grow over time. Definitely communication and educating employees that this service is available is probably something that we're working on right now, and something that's going to increase over time, and working in ways to go into different departments and how to outreach to different employees. So yeah, over time, we're spreading the word, and we're hoping that number will definitely gradually increase over time.
Maybe from 2 to 4 this year, Commissioner Haggerty.
I went once 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll get you to the gym this year. I don't know. I think this is a great program. I do think it's really helpful in terms of lowering our costs when it comes to the different ailments that affect us that we can all be mindful of eradicating. And it's helpful to encourage our employees to be able to go to the gym and almost at a very minimal, if no cost at all. And so I appreciate you bringing this forward and the awareness and modifying it. I do think Commissioner Hagerty has a point that if we can get our dependents on this, this would be helpful in the future. So
Absolutely.
I would move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez.
Aye.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout.
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Item number 15, Public Works. Discuss and take appropriate action regarding a variance request from the County of El Paso subdivision regulations for Emerald Pass Commercial Unit 2.
Happy New Year, Judge
Happy New Year.
Commissioners. Norma Palacios with the Public Works Department. This morning, we have two items, and both are variances, 15 and 16. We will need to open them up for public comment.
Well, actually, it'll be we can open up for a public hearing, and if you want, the court can read in both items.
If we
and
could,
open it for
please,
public.
Mr. Nava, read in item 15 and 16 for the public hearing.
Item number 16 reads, discuss and take appropriate action for a variance request from the County of El Paso subdivision regulations for Tierra del Este 85. And if I could ask the court for a motion to open a public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Vogt?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Do we have anybody in the media, really, who would like to offer public comments on items 15 or 16? Or Mr. Dayub, if you'd like to offer any comments? Hearing none, I think we can close the public hearing. Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Vogt?
Aye.
Motion carries. Can we take one motion for both items to approve?
So moved.
Yes.
If I can just add that both of these, the owner or the developer is requesting permission to reduce the minimum right-of-way from 60 feet to 54 feet. The proposed 54 feet right-of-way is consistent with the El Paso County Alternative Subdivision Design Standards. We've reviewed them. Public Works staff has reviewed them and are recommending approval of this item, both items.
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Perez?
Aye.
Commissioner Leon?
Aye.
Commissioner Stout?
Aye.
Commissioner Haggerty?
Aye.
Judge Vogt?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
Item number 17, Budget and Finance. Approve amendment number 13 to the County of El Paso's 2017-2018 operating budget. This budgetary amendment will increase grants by $192,997.26 and decrease special revenue by $2,433, thus increasing the overall budget of $484,198,032.11 to $484,388,596.37.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Wally Hargrove from the Office of Budget and Fiscal Policy. Several line items within General Fund. A transfer of $303 out of contingencies, maintenance, and operations to the Veterans Assistance Account renovations to cover the cost of a trilogy lock for the Northeast office. We did look at within their budget. They did not have available funds there. Within the Office of Criminal Justice Coordination, as approved by commissioners at the meeting for December 21st last year, a transfer of $52,097 for salaries, full-time regular, from within Office of Criminal Justice Coordination to the line item for contracted services in the same dollar amount for the contract with the Office, the Department of Public Safety for the criminal lab chemist. Within parking garage enhancement, transferring $9,500 out of equipment into operating expenses general to cover the cost to retrofit incandescent lamps in the parking garage to LED energy efficient lamps for the same dollar amount, $9,500. We will track the utilities for the parking garage in the future to see what type of utility savings we have. We did experience those types of savings in this building for the LED retrofits. Within general administrative, transferring $1,600 out of operating expense equipment into information technologies in the same amount for the purchase of a desktop and a scanner for Constable 1. Previously, when this constable received a new position, we had not transferred the funds into IT for the purchase of the computer and scanner, as they did not have physical space enough in the office. Now that they've moved into their new facility within the renovated JP1 Constable 1 leased space, they have room for the computer. This is a one-time transfer. IT will make the purchase, and it will not be budgeted in FY 19. Within the Council of Judges Administration, transferring salary and related fringe benefits out of Council of Judges Admin into Criminal Law Magistrate to cover the salary for the temp pool for the jail magistrate through the first quarter of the fiscal year based on current expenses and leave taken for staff that are fulfilling these duties. This is the transfer that we estimate will get them through FY18. Well, we will be working with both the Council of Judges, Criminal Law Magistrate, and Human Resources to look at the ongoing need and necessity to budget this in FY19 and thereafter. This has been the second year in a row we've had to do this transfer to cover our temporary service cost. Within General Administrative, the last line item for this week's budget amendment is transferring $20,831 out of transfer out grant match into personnel contingencies. This is for the item and the position that was approved for the district attorney's office to cover those salaries. That amount should have been budgeted in contingencies personnel. It is necessary for the fiscal year. Budget amendments within special revenue grants. Setting up a federal grant for $10,997.26. This covers salaries and overtime and the related fringe benefits for the Sheriff STEP IDM 2018 grant. The grant for West Texas SI HIDA Prosecution Initiative 2017, a federal grant for $57,000, most of which is for salaries and related fringe benefits, small amount for travel and employee training totaling $3,000. Special revenue grants, SI HIDA Intelligence 2017, a federal grant for $125,000, $15,000 for communications, $2,350 for operating expense. The balance of $107,650 is for non-capital equipment. Within special revenue, we have several budget amendments. One, reducing the designated for subsequent years in the Family Protection Fund to balance to the the soon-to-be completed audit for the special revenue account for family protection funds. The offsets are to salary and fringe benefits for the same amount, $2,433 reduction. Within the 384th Safety Specialty Court, transferring out of salaries, temps, $7,229. Transferring into salary part-time and related fringe benefits, $9,380, and the related fringe benefits, bringing the total transfer, $7,200 for the salary temp, and then reduction of $3,900 for contingencies, maintenance, and operation to cover the cost of salary and fringe benefits for the part-time in this court. Transfer within the 384th Adult Drug Specialty Court for the same amount on the same purpose, part-time employee, as opposed to temporary employees. And that concludes this week's budget amendments. We've been asked for your favorable consideration.
Commissioners, any questions? Judge Trejo, Judge Anchondo, I saw in the audience. I'm not sure if you wanted to say a few words or if you... Happy New Year, Judge. Commissioners, any other questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Pettis.
Just a quick, I disapproved of the manner in which the funding was appropriated for the transfer of items from salaries. I think we're going to have to this budget season perhaps look at budgeting for attrition during our budget cycle. With that, I vote no.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Stout. Aye. Commissioner Haggerty.
Aye.
Judge Vogt.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon.
Commissioners, Court will now recess into executive session to discuss items 18A through 18C pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.087 and 551.072. Commissioners, Court will reconvene to take official action.
All county offices will be closed on Monday, January the 15th, in observance of the Martin Luther King holiday. All county offices will reopen on Tuesday, January the 16th.
Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Danny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
Now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346th District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
All county offices will be closed on Monday, January the 15th, in observance of the Martin Luther King holiday. All county offices will reopen on Tuesday, January the 16th.
Commissioner Andrew Haggerty would like to invite you to his weekly breakfast meeting that takes place every Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. at Denny's Diner, located at 4690 Trans Mountain Road. Every week he has a different speaker who will be discussing topics of interest for the community. So if you live in the Northeast, West Side, or anywhere else in the county, come and join us for the breakfast meeting.
Don't wait in line, pay online. Visit the Financial Recovery Division website at http://www.epcounty.com/budget/financialrecovery.htm to make your payments online or find out more about our kiosk locations. We now accept payments on misdemeanor, felony, and justice of the peace cases.
Now watch Commissioners Court meetings on YouTube. Go to youtube.com and search for El Paso County Commissioners or El Paso County, Texas. Subscribe to our channels to see our latest videos.
Did you know that you can save money on the cost of your medications? And doing so is easy. In 2015, the County of El Paso launched a prescription discount card program from coast to coast. The cards are available to all El Paso County residents free of charge and everyone qualifies. You can pick up a card at any county office location, Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, or Target pharmacies, or simply print the card at www.coastrx.com. Happy savings!
Did you know the County of El Paso's Purchasing Department is responsible for ensuring that all items and services needed by various county departments are purchased in the manner required by the state of Texas? Whether through formal sealed bids or smaller dollar quotations, the county purchasing team is dedicated to finding the best contracting return on your taxpayer dollars. Additionally, the purchasing department is responsible for the tracking of inventory within the county and properly disposing surplus to public auctions. For questions about how to become a vendor and compete for county contracts, or to learn more about public auctions, please contact us at telephone number 915-546-2048.
The 346 District Court Judge Angie Juarez Barril started the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court program in 2012 for veterans and active service members that have been arrested and charged with a felony or misdemeanor criminal offense. To be considered for the specialty court, the statutory criteria includes be a veteran or current member of the United States Armed Forces, including a member of the Reserves, National Guard, or State Guard, and suffer from a brain injury, mental illness, or mental disorder, including PTSD, or be a victim of military sexual trauma, all occurring or resulting from military service. Call Sylvia Serna, Veterans Program Director, at 915-546-2119, or email her at sserna@epcounty.com for any information.
Did you know that the County of El Paso's fixed asset control and inventory disposal is handled through the purchasing department? Throughout the course of each business year, the county holds live public auctions to dispose of aged equipment, vehicles, furniture, and other items that are no longer needed. To find out about upcoming auctions or to learn more about the county's inventory disposal process, contact the purchasing department at telephone number 915-546-2048.
Commissioners' Court has reconvened into regular open session. Item number 19, discuss and take appropriate action regarding a Chapter 381 agreement with Project Falcon.
No action.
Item number 19, no action. I believe this concludes our agenda, Judge.
I believe that thank you so much to everybody for being here. Happy New Year, and we look forward to a fantastic 2018 with all of you. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
This concludes today's meeting at 11:57 a.m.